Welcome to a Legendarium special about the Entelodonts, prehistoric flesh-eating pigs. The discovery of the terror pig can be traced back to the 1870s when the United States, which had just ended its Civil War, began the Bone Wars, a fierce and bitter competition between Edward Drinker Cope and Othniel Charles Marsh marred the first fossil hunts in American history. Both men scrambled to find and name fossils they unearthed, such as Stegosaurus and other famous ancient creatures such as Brontosaurus, Pteranodon, and Tylosaurus. Since both men rushed to discover and name new species, they often failed to properly study and catalog their finds, and this caused plenty of errors. A quick study of the terror pig's skull led the warring scientists to misclassify their find as a rhino. At that time, scientists named fossils of prehistoric mammals based on their skull characteristics. The name of this terrorist pig, Daeodon, came from the Greek words de, meaning awful, and odon, meaning teeth. So the creature's name translates as terrible teeth. During the 20th century, paleontologists discovered a more complete Daeodon fossil. It proved that the creature belonged to the giant pig family called Entelodontidae, and finally classified them properly. Somewhat confusingly, Entelodon lent its name to an entire family of megafauna called the Entelodonts, which also includes the American Daeodon. Entelodont fossils have since been Oregon and Nebraska. These various species of terror pigs ranged in size from a puny 330 pounds to a whopping 2,000 pounds. So how and why did these giant and deadly pigs come to be? After the dinosaurs went extinct, mammals took over, including some bizarre and terrifying creatures. They included flightless carnivorous birds that grew up to 10 feet tall, terrestrial crocodiles that hunted down prey on land, and bus-sized sharks that dined upon whales. Among this terrifying rogues gallery of Cenozoic megafauna, one found pig-like creatures called Entelodonts. They dominated the forests and plains of North America, Europe, and Asia from 37 million years ago to 16 million years ago, during a time called the Miocene. Sometimes known as hell pigs or terminator pigs, these prehistoric beasts fed on meat and plants, though they primarily ate flesh. Despite the colloquial names, they had less in common with modern pigs and would be more closely related to hippos or whales. Entelodon grew to the size of a cow. It had a noticeable pig-like face with a wart-like, bone-supported wattles on its cheeks and an extended snout studded with fearsome-looking teeth. This creature weighed up to 2,000 pounds, but only had a brain the size of an orange. In their native ranges, they became apex predators, taking down mammals the size of sheep and cows. The largest had a 3-foot-long skull and stood 6 feet tall at the shoulder. Its head would have been disproportionately large and covered with tusk-like bumps and flanges that protected their eyes and noses. They fought each other often, most likely over mating rights or dominance within a herd. Viewed from the head of the buffalo pig, this creature is as big as a bison, the largest terrestrial mammal living in North America today. From the bone, these terminator pigs had powerful jaws and huge teeth with different shapes and functions. Among them, they had a pair of thick and sharp canine teeth growing in the front. Their largest teeth have roots wider than a human hand outstretched. However, they also had heavy incisors and powerful molars. Like many other animals, they had split hooves, their toes touching the ground. They also had 2 bones on the sides of their head attached to the jawbone. They likely bound muscle bundles and increased bite force enough so that the pteropigs could have crushed bones into splinters. While their molars allowed them to eat plants, they had no qualms about taking down moving feasts such as horses, camels, and rhinos. Some would even scavenge kills from other predators, since their huge size and frightening appearance could easily scare off smaller predators. They would even attack and eat their own kind, as shown by teeth marks found on their fossils. They had short and thick necks connected directly to the shoulders by yet more muscle bundles. To move around, the hell pigs had long and strong limbs so they could run quickly, not unlike a modern horse. If people lived back then instead of us eating bacon, bacon would have probably eaten us. Lucky for us, however, the last Entelodon died about 19 million years ago, at the end of the Miocene. While numerous factors contributed to the Entelodonts' demise, climate change had the most immediate and catastrophic effect. As global cooling took effect, forests shrank and the plants favored by the Entelodonts disappeared with them. As forests turned to grasslands, a new group of large ruminants emerged. These grass-eating herbivores included the ancestors of modern-day cows, sheep, horses, and goats. While they adapted to the new environment, the Entelodonts could not, and I suppose we should all be grateful for that. That wraps things up for this episode of The Legendarium. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day.